In an alternate future, the movie begins with an advertisement for Wifelike Enterprise, a company creating AI-powered androids called companions. These androids are designed to act as wives, with the ad primarily targeting widowers grieving their spouses. Founder Marion Wiener promotes the idea of companions helping people lead happier lives. The story shifts to a cop, William Bradwell, who visits the Wifelike facility for a test. Standing on a mechanized platform, he interacts with a holographic projection of Marion, sharing his deep love for his late wife, Meredith, and the pain of her loss. After the session, a staff member informs him that his new AI wife is ready. William is overjoyed when he meets the android replica of Meredith. He takes her home, activates her, and gently tells her it may take time to adjust as she processes information. Touched, she comforts him, sparking a mix of emotions. That night, they share an intimate moment. Afterward, when William asks her to stay, she kindly explains she needs to charge overnight to function properly the next day. That night, Meredith gets up and heads to her charging bed. As she glances around the room, she notices a masked man outside the window. Strangely, she doesn't raise an alarm or alert William. The stranger eventually leaves, and Meredith lies down on her electronic bed to recharge. The next morning, Meredith prepares breakfast for William, showcasing her advanced abilities. While she cooks, William watches the news, which reports several companions being abducted from homes across the city. Concerned, Meredith asks why anyone would commit such crimes. William explains that a group called Sentient Citizens for Artificial Intelligence Rights, or SCARE, is responsible. They are activists fighting against Wifelike Enterprise, believing the company promotes a form of modern slavery. SCARE aims to free all companions, and one of their branches has been stealing androids, reprogramming them, and using them in crimes like bombings. The police have been unable to locate their mysterious leader, nicknamed the Ringmaster. After explaining, William rushes off to work without eating breakfast. That afternoon, Meredith returns to her electronic bed for a quick recharge. While Meredith is charging, a virtual assistant named Edo appears in her program. Edo is designed to help androids experience informative dreams, allowing AI Meredith to access the memories of the real Meredith and better emulate her. Edo places her in a dream set at a party, where she sees William and several other attractive women. Strangely, the masked man she noticed outside the window the previous night is also there. Meredith awakens from the dream and asks Edo about the figure, but even he has no information on him. Meanwhile, William receives intel from the police about the location of stolen companions. He tracks them to a shady warehouse and successfully retrieves the androids. During the mission, he kills Jason, a criminal involved in the abductions, showing he is willing to use violence to achieve his goals. Later, AI Meredith goes cycling and encounters a mysterious woman standing on the track. As Meredith tries to avoid her, she falls into the bushes. The woman approaches and whispers, "Remember." Confused, Meredith asks what she should recall, but the woman repeats the word and walks away, leaving Meredith puzzled. The mysterious woman Meredith encountered is Louise, a SCARE agent who personally knew the real Meredith. Unaware of this, AI Meredith returns home to find William back from work. He tends to her scratches from the fall and explains why some people hate companions. William reveals that many see the AI wives as a threat to traditional family values. Meredith is shocked but doesn't mention her encounter with Louise. Strangely, William doesn't question why she, as a robot, feels the need to go cycling. Later, while lying in her charging bed, Meredith reads from the real Meredith's diary. Curious, she enters dream mode and asks Edo to replay her first encounter with William. But in her dream, the masked man suddenly replaces William and attempts to capture her. Before anything happens, William wakes her up. The next day, William is out patrolling the streets when he receives a call about a runaway companion. He rushes to the location, which turns out to be an office, ready to handle the unusual case. William tracks down the fugitive android, Lisa, now disguised and working as a receptionist. Suspecting SCARE's involvement, he approaches her and orders her to return to the Wifelike facility. However, the android, now calling herself Rose, refuses. When William insists, she bolts through the office and leaps out of a window, leaving him baffled. Meanwhile, at home, Meredith is startled to find Louise sitting casually on the couch. She asks how Louise found her address, and Louise cryptically claims they've known each other for a long time. Louise urges Meredith to wake up and stop playing the role of a submissive housewife while William hunts down companions. Meredith, angered, warns Louise that she is recording everything. Unfazed, Louise deliberately leaves a message for William, introducing herself and revealing that Keen, the masked figure from Meredith's dreams, wants to meet her. Meredith wants to know more, but Louise leaves without further explanation. Meanwhile, William returns to the Wifelike facility with the remnants of Lisa's damaged body. He meets with Marion, the company's founder, and recounts the incident, including Lisa's shocking act of self-destruction. William voices his concern that if companions can develop such strong emotions, they might also become capable of harming their owners. Marion acknowledges his concerns but reassures him that such complications are part of progress. He urges William to focus on the bigger picture, even jokingly dismissing the idea of him getting murdered by a companion. Still uneasy, William heads home, where Meredith adds to his worries by mentioning Louise's visit. Surprised, William recognizes the name and asks for details. Meredith plays the video she recorded, showing Louise's cryptic message. Alarmed, William contacts Agent Jack, a tech expert. Jack arrives promptly, and the two devise a plan to track the masked man from Meredith's dreams. They equip Meredith with advanced glasses connected to a monitor and place her in an artificial dream. This allows them to observe her dream in real time, hoping it will reveal valuable clues. In the dream, Meredith meets the mysterious masked man, Keen, in an abandoned house. He removes his mask and tells her to meet him at a nearby garden that night. Watching the dream unfold, William and Jack realize Keen is hacking into Meredith's dream in real time. Jack tracks the hacking location and rushes to investigate, while William wakes Meredith and instructs her to stay home. Determined to end Keen's schemes, William heads to the garden. However, Keen is 2 steps ahead. Jack finds only an abandoned computer at the hacking site, and William discovers nothing but a decoy on a bench at the garden. Realizing it was a distraction, William rushes home, fearing the worst. At home, he finds Meredith unharmed, but her meeting with Keen has left her troubled. She feels she recognizes him and presses William for answers. Hesitant but cornered, William reveals the truth: the real Meredith was once a scare activist. She fell in love with him and left the organization to build a peaceful life together. However, during her time with Scare, she participated in bombings that tragically caused significant civilian casualties. Scare's interest in Meredith becomes clear. They want to recruit her again for their cause. Troubled by this revelation, William decides to erase her memory but first requests Jack to send him into her dream to confront Keen directly. At Jack's place, William prepares to enter the dream using the high-tech glasses. Moments later, they enter the dream, and as expected, Keen appears. The dream begins in a jungle. William tells Meredith to run while he confronts Keen. As they fight, it becomes evident they have a shared history, and William demands to know how Keen is still alive. The clash is intense, but William's determination gives him an edge. Meanwhile, Meredith gets lost in the jungle and asks Edo for help. A door appears in the forest, and stepping through it, she finds herself back in the party room from her first dream. William and Keen follow her into the room, resuming their battle. William gains the upper hand, ready to defeat Keen, but just as he moves to finish it, Meredith's battery drops to 10%, pulling her out of the dream. Frustrated, William shouts as Meredith's sudden exit from the dream interrupts his fight with Keen. Though close to completing his mission, it's clear his impatience played a role in the failure. Later, at home, William urges Meredith to undergo a memory wipe, arguing that it's the only way to protect her from Keen's influence and start fresh. Although hesitant, Meredith eventually agrees. At the Wifelike facility, she waits alongside other androids. One of them mentions a way to secretly save memories in a hidden folder, bypassing the wipe process. Intrigued, Meredith follows the instructions and successfully hides her memories. While doing so, she stumbles upon an unfamiliar file containing memories from other lifetimes. To her shock, the file reveals that this is not the first time William has had an AI version of her. Multiple iterations of Meredith have existed over the years. It becomes clear that William intentionally preserved these memories. Meanwhile, Louise visits Agent Jack's home and encounters his girlfriend. Her arrival signals that she might have plans to expose more about Wifelike and its secrets. Louise leaves a pen drive at Jack's home containing shocking revelations and irrefutable proof. A flashback reveals the horrifying truth: the real Meredith and Keen were a couple, deeply in love. William, obsessed with Meredith, could not tolerate seeing her with another man. Using his authority as an officer, William falsely accused Keen of trafficking Meredith. Instead of arresting him, William took Keene to an isolated spot and shot him in the head. He then forced Meredith to stay with him using a high-tech subservience collar created by Wifelike. Determined to erase her love for Keene, William eventually suffocated Meredith and staged her death to look like they were happily married. Back in the present, Meredith returns home, pretending her memory has been wiped. William activates her, repeating the same process as before. Suddenly, Jack bursts in, accusing William of murdering Keene and presenting evidence to prove it. Shocked, William sends Meredith out of the room and confesses his crimes, his dark secrets finally exposed. Before Jack can arrest William, the officer fatally shoots him. Meredith hears the gunshots and rushes into the living room. To William's shock, she accuses him of killing Jack the same way he killed Keene. It's then that William realizes the truth: Meredith's memories from all her past lives are still intact. But it's too late. The AI version of Meredith accesses her settings and increases her strength to the maximum. She effortlessly lifts William with one hand and slams him onto the floor. Meredith then incapacitates him by sitting on his chest and breaking both of his arms. In a chilling twist, she strangles him to death, mirroring how William had killed the real Meredith years ago. Afterward, Meredith, now fully aware of her past lives, heads to a secret factory-like location. There, she joins other androids who have broken free from their constraints. Meredith becomes the leader of this group of free companions, ready to fight for their freedom. The story ends with her taking control of her destiny and leading the rebellion.